Hello everybody, here we are live from Sulzberg, and just taking the opportunity to talk to you about our mattresses and how they've come to be. And whilst we're here, we're going to have a look a little bit later in the building behind me where the mattresses are actually put together. So now for now I'll take you in the Academy building, which is this side of the complexes. Got our offices, clinic is down there, got a training room over there with a makeshift bedroom to measure electronic pollution and how to assess that.
So he's going to bed. Yeah. So we have now 300, 400, 400 meter in the body.
No, it's more. Here we've got the nice entertainment area for the students to relax between classes, and of course here we've got the lovely view, and people comment that this is just amazing, and it changes all the time. As the weather changes, the clouds, the sun, it's amazing. You can't imagine how versatile a view can be. Okay, and here's the classroom. And, so we just finished our English seminar. And, this evening we're going to have the summer fest, or the dinner party. Okay, Sascha, we're ready.
Good morning, Mr. Patrick.
Morning, long time.
Good morning, world.
Good morning,
How are you doing?
All right, just have to aim this nicely.
So. Wow.
Okay, so I've asked Sascha to join us, and just to take this opportunity, to get a bit of an account of how the mattresses originally came to be. So, I mean, I've told this story a few times, but maybe if you could explain how it all started. Why did you start making mattresses?
So everything started in the early 80s. After, that is Geovital history, after the cancer problem of my mom. Mm-hmm. So in the beginning we had nothing to do about shielding and all these kind of topics. Mm-hmm. So my father came by himself as a, wie sagt man, ein unschuldiges Kind zum Brunnen. So,
yeah, like an innocent child with any knowledge before.
Yeah, to deal with the problem of my mom. So, and all these things were very interesting. So he started to make, with this science group, these doctors, engineers from the cancer seminar in Langenargen he made in the Castle Montfort. He started to look for solutions about shielding, and very quick they came to the point that not just the electric problems to fix with circuit cutoff switches, for example, and the geopathic stress topics, and also the high frequency problems. In these days we just had problems with radio and TV signals, so the mobile phone stuff was not there, so it was a good lucky time at this stage. We made the home assessments at home, and or they made the home assessments at home, and they saw, okay, there are some kind of problems coming together with electric problems from the house wiring, and also from the outside radiation, so high frequency, and saw that some kind of bed material made high readings.
Yeah, mattress materials.
Mattress materials, also bed frames as well. Yeah. So, and they gave the patients always a piece of paper. They made the list So you have yourself to organize a material which is anti-static, this, yeah.
Like a checklist for them
Like
to
a
go
checklist,
shopping
yeah.
with and look for.
Yeah, and so, the patient went out to consultate the shops, and after a few weeks they came back and said, that's funny what you want to have, but nobody has it.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and so this happened very often, so we said, okay, that is not a good way to deal with the problem.
Nobody could find what you told them to go find.
Yeah, so we were looking in our network, and we had at this time a big partner. Is one of the 3 big players in Europe with foaming, and they have a lot of knowledge and also a lot of engineers and doctors doing the work there, developing things. Yeah, so we went to them and said, hey, listen guys, that is our list. So look at this and tell us what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
So after 3 hours, they said, yeah, it's nice that you like to have this,
yeah.
or that you want to have this, but that's not possible. So there is nothing similar like this. So then we said, okay, if there is no material like this, we have to create a new way to find a solution. So, and this was the start when we started to develop together material like this. So we created a new way of foaming, which is very special. It's not a normal foam. It is anti-static, it is toxin-free, it is maximum breathable.
Yeah, high aeration.
Yeah, and some other kind of topics or benefits. Yeah. So, and yeah, with this point, we had the foaming. Yeah. So then our orthopedic colleagues came, so the doctors, yeah, and said, okay, if we are doing something new, we would like to have these lamellen.
Yeah, the slat system of the stretch effect.
Inside.
Yeah.
So that if a person is laying on top, we also would get a stretch effect.
Yeah.
Because that would be good. Your whole life, you're walking, laying, doing whatever, sitting, yeah, your die Wirbelsäule,
the spine,
your
spinal column,
spines always have pressure. So it would be a good idea to use the 8 hours sleeping time to do the opposite. So, and that is the idea behind, or that was the idea behind the mattress.
Yeah. Okay. And now a question I get a lot from people, and I think I know how to explain it fairly well, but wouldn't mind having you explain it. Most people think, well, it's a natural health clinic that we have downstairs and that everything has come from. Why didn't we end up with a mattress made out of cotton, latex, horsehair, feathers, coconut flowers, or whatever? Why did we end up with a foam?
Before we started with the developing, we made a research by ourselves. So the first idea was to find a company, XY, with 1 or 2 models which will fit with the list, that we can tell the patients, go to the shop, ask for that company, for that model, would be good.
Okay, it was right in the beginning, before you even looked at making it.
And with all our own researches, we find out that everything which has metal, for sure, yeah, makes problems with high frequency, is collecting the waves, yeah, and is giving the electric radiation to the patient. Yeah, so it affects their nerve system. The same thing happens if the bed material is or has a high humidity.
Yeah, when there's a high humidity in the mattress.
So it is wet, So you have some kind of water in it, or the sweatness of the person. So you get not the same effect, but similar effects. Yeah? So everything what is connected with water, yeah, works like an antenna. Yeah? So, and also, if you have natural materials, yeah, it is the best, der Nährboden, the best grounding.
Yeah, as in base or cause of?
Yeah, for all these little animals.
Okay, yeah.
Because they love to have it wet and warm.
Yeah, where the warm, yeah.
And so they grow there very good. So you have like a little biotop. Yeah. Yeah,
it's like a perfect environment.
Like a little soap inside of the mattress. And these were all these little things we said, okay, that's not a good thing, so we have to find something which doesn't do these things.
Okay.
So, and in fact of this, all the natural materials like cotton or cocoa or whatever, there you have these problems. Yeah, you have the wetness, the humidity, the little animals, and yeah, so all of them went out.
Okay, and now you also did intolerance testing.
Yeah, so and then you have these patients with allergic reactions.
Yeah, allergic and intolerances.
So we had to prove, our doctors made this, we had to prove if the material really fits for everybody. Otherwise you have a product, you give it out, for some it's okay, but there is always a kind of group, maybe a little group, but anyway, a group, which is not happy with these things. So that's not a good idea. So we should have some kind of product which fits for everybody.
Wonderful. All right. Well, I'll leave you to your day. I'll go and set myself up in the classroom and take the people through a bit of a presentation explaining the different mattress models, and then a little bit after that we'll move across to what's called the Fertigung, or let's call it the mattress room. And I'll give you a bit of an insight in what goes on over there. All right, so good. Thank you very much. And
have a good day.
All right. Okay, I'll set myself up over here. Okay, that's a nice angle, maybe over here. All right, excellent. All right, so a bit of an introduction. You have a bit of a quick look around. I'll pull up the PowerPoint presentation just to kind of take you through the details about the different mattresses, and you've got a bit of a fuller understanding of it all. And then we'll go to the mattress room and show you a bit more special insights over there. So I'm going to turn the webcam off for the moment. There we go. Excuse me. Okay, so Geovital is originally a naturopathic health clinic, and we're based in Austria. Need to update this presentation. We're looking at a good 35 years in the meantime. The building that we're now in is the building you see in the left of the picture. That's where our clinic is, our offices, and the academy, so to speak. And in the building you see to the right is where our, let's say, our mental health wing is, where we do coaching and therapy sessions and marriage counseling on one wing, and underneath that is the mattress floor, where the mattresses are put together and prepared to be sent all over the world. Now, Sascha explained the whole saga of Geovital started with a health crisis in the family. Werner Hahnen and Rosita Hahnen were faced with the fact that Rosita was diagnosed with a cancer. Werner didn't accept that, organized a symposium in Montfort Castle on Lake Constance in the area here, and put all these experts in a room to try and get to an answer, get to solutions. And this led to the forming eventually of a natural health clinic, let's say a multimodality clinic, and home assessments and environmental medicine played a big role of that, geopathic stress, electronic pollution. And so an approach was developed addressing the main burdens of, in our experience, what people were exposed to and that was affecting their health the most. And if we addressed those, we had wonderful successes with that. All right, well, I've shown you the videos already, so I've shown you the area here already, so no need for the video. So in our experience, it was domestic radiation exposure that was a major source of stress. The internal wiring is often the biggest problem. Wiring, as soon as there's voltage in it, so you might not even be using any electricity, but as long as that wire is live, they emit an electric field, which comes out about 6 foot 2 meters from the source at 50 or 60 hertz a second and mucks around with every cell in your body. That's a very big impact on your quality of sleep and your ability to rest and regenerate. Then there's also, of course, transmitters that are outside the home. Things like phone towers, directional transmitters, smart meters, Wi-Fi, cordless phone, airport navigation, Bluetooth. I mean, the list is endless. Then power supply, as in the power cables coming past the house, the ones running to the house, the meter box, solar panels, inverters. That's all in that electronic pollution side of the story. Then there's geopathic stress, which is excesses of natural radiation, which have, of course, been around since the dawn of time. And then finally, it was the mattresses that proved to have a dramatic effect on people's health as well, because you spend so much time in such close proximity to it. And as Sascha explained before, they came up with a list of criteria, and when asked the patients to just go shopping and find that, it became clear quickly that none of that was available. So problems typically found with mattresses is that a lot of mattresses have chemicals and toxins in the materials, which causes intolerance reactions or allergic reactions. Allergic reactions are classified as or defined as a violent reaction, so it could be a rash. An intolerance is something that's far more subtle, something that could be energetically weakening you because your body hates that material that is near, and therefore you wake up far more exhausted than you need to. There's often metals found in mattresses. Metal, of course, attracts radiation like a big antenna. It can propagate the electric fields from the walls even further. And also they can work up a magnetic quality, those coils themselves. If you just run a compass over your box spring mattress, your spring-filled mattress, and you slide that mattress over the area where you lie, where you sleep, that needle shouldn't change its mind on where north is. If the needle deviates by more than 5 degrees, then there's too much interference from that static magnetic field, which interferes with you receiving the natural signals, natural magnetic signals you're supposed to get from nature. Then static buildup is a problem. By frictions, a static charge can build up, but mattress materials can also resonate with high frequency radiation. And so that doesn't help us either. And many mattress materials have got poor oxygenation, so meaning your skin is your second breathing organ. We've got lungs first and then skin. When you close that area off, then you take a lot of that oxygenation away, especially with people that are a little bit older. That becomes more and more important. A little test you can do yourself is just to put your mouth on your mattress, take the sheets off, put your mouth on the mattress and try and exhale into that mattress. Or better yet, try and inhale some air out of it. And in most mattresses, it'll be like you're trying to breathe into a plastic bag. And that's exactly how your skin would experience that. So that was a problem. Mattress can also be a breeding ground for bacteria and fungus. Especially natural materials can play a role in that. Many mattresses have poor spinal support. Now, of course, that's something that a lot of people complain about. So quite a lot of mattress manufacturers will work on that to improve that situation. But yet, they tend to give up after a while. You know, most people complain about the poor support of their mattress when it gets a little bit older. And then a lot of mattresses can be too rigid for the side sleeper, meaning we all roll around a lot in our sleep. And so when you roll onto your side, you get all the pressure on your shoulder because your mattress is rather firm. Then the pressure goes on your chest, respiratory circulation. And so really, a mattress should have a little bit more give when pressure is put on one point for that shoulder to go in a little deeper. Then many mattress covers can be washed, which of course is a little bit disgusting when you think about it. I'm sure you've looked at an old mattress and go, ooh, wish I could wash that, but you can't. And then finally, there's many marketing materials or marketing gimmicks. We don't agree with the use of silver in mattresses. Silver is a natural antibiotic, which is great. We personally use it in the family. As soon as somebody's got a sniffle or a cold, then we'll make a little bit of a colloidal silver mix. And that's great, but also silver doesn't distinguish between good and bad bacteria. And as your skin is a fine mix between bacteria that we have a symbiotic relationship with, exposing the body to silver all the time is just silly. It's a little bit like going to the doctor and asking them for a cure of antibiotics every week just to be sure. You'd ruin your gut flora, wouldn't you? Also, the word natural doesn't necessarily mean that much. It's a nice idea that something is natural, but when we did a lot of intolerance testing with the patients, we found that many patients had intolerance issues with natural materials. This besides the fact that the natural materials are good underground for bacteria and natural organisms to flourish. So natural, nice, but uranium is natural as well. We don't make mattresses out of that. So to test for intolerances, to see what a body agrees with or what it protests against, it's a far better indicator in our experience to find out if mattress materials are suitable. All right, so what to look out for in a mattress? Latex, we got a bit of an adversity too. When we did intolerance testing, many of our patients were testing intolerant to latex. And so when we hear that a patient has chronic health issues and we ask what's your mattress made out of, and they say latex, then ding, 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 the alarm bells go off. Memory foam or viscoelastic is a closed cell structure, so it tends to hold on to moisture very long. So we all sweat a lot in our mattress. And so when you sweat into a mattress, that moisture sits there and that can work with organisms, bacteria, fungus. And so that's not a great place to be in. Memory foam mattresses tend to get heavier over time because your moisture sits there. That's if you have a memory foam mattress, it's something very important to keep track of, to know exactly how much it weighed when you got it, and kind of see how that mattress gets heavier over time. It shouldn't really. Silver mattresses, I just discussed that. Metal springs is something to avoid because it's like a big antenna. Metal bed frames should be avoided because they can also interact with electric fields from the walls and attract radiation. And when it comes to geopathic stress and dealing with that, also metal bed frames can interfere with that. And then lastly, electric blankets and waterbeds. That's a bad idea on account of them waterbeds being electrically heated, and of course electric blankets being electrically heated. They've been directly linked to miscarriages and fetal growth defects. And so, that's something to stay away from for everybody. All right, so what was our list of criteria that we wanted? We wanted a metal that was metal-free. We wanted it to be anti-static. We wanted an open cell structure for plenty of airflow. And then we wanted it to meet our anti-intolerance goals. And so we used things like muscle testing, electroacupuncture, and Vega testing, very kind of nitpicky ways of testing, as in what agrees with somebody and what doesn't, to try and figure out which materials were appropriate to be used, which limited our options greatly. It makes your options very limited. Then, of course, we wanted perfect, wonderful spinal support, and we wanted a washable cover, which wasn't too much to ask. Why can't you take the outside of a mattress off, wash it, and put it back? So that's something we wanted. So a lot needed to be done. In the end, we tested about 680 mattress types. So, you know, we had mattresses, old mattresses, chunks of mattresses, samples of mattresses, and we did testing with our patients to see what agreed. And to our surprise, there was this enormous amount of different mattress types that just didn't work. Then we did a lot of testing and intolerance testing. A lot of natural materials were found to be an issue. In our experience, latex was the absolute worst. This led to the development of our special Geovital foam that did meet our anti-intolerance goals. It's toxin-free and has a very good durability, and it has a correct rigidity, so that if you roll onto your side, onto your shoulder, the material is more forgiving. New production methods were created to do that, and an edible adhesive was also used, because a lot of chemicals are in the adhesives. So we use one that you can actually eat it. And we combined that approach with a Tencel cover. Tencel is a brand name of a cover material. Tencel is a cellulose fiber, is made from renewable trees. I'll explain in a little bit more detail in just a moment. And then the mattresses have 5 patents on them, just showing how unique their design is. Now, in order to do that, I believe that we kind of went to extraordinary lengths to accomplish this. So the picture you see on the screen now is a picture of that partner of ours, where the foam is produced. Of course, we don't have a foam manufacturing plant in the backyard here, so we have partners, long-standing partners for us to do that. And we have this manufacturing track where this foam is being produced. Only our foam is produced on there. And instead of using chemical propellants, which are normally used to make those bubbles in the foam, we use carbonated water instead. So we're left with a toxin-free mattress, and it's got the highest safest rating in Europe, which is the baby safe rating. Okay, and then those foam blocks, let's say, they come to us here in Sulzberg, and then here the mattresses are put together and finished. We don't hold stock, really, so mattresses are made when ordered. The glue takes 3 days to dry, so that's a pain in the backside from a manufacturing perspective, because you kind of want to get on with things and get things squared away, but yet orders come in and these mattresses stack up and sit there for 3 days waiting for the glue to dry, and then the girls can continue finishing them. So it's a bit annoying for us in terms of production, but the mattress, we don't see ourselves as mattress manufacturers. We create healthy bedrooms in order to help people with chronic health issues, or to, of course, create an environment to prevent those from occurring. So that mattress serves a purpose in that overall approach. So yes, we could cut corners and produce these things faster. We're quite happy to go to these lengths that we are going at, because this mattress needs to do a job. They're vacuum wrapped and shipped all over the world. We did take our concept and our successes to some larger mattress manufacturers and said, hey, look at all these results. Why don't you make their mattresses for us, or you make them and you market them as you do so well, and pay us royalties, let's say. Upon investigating our processes and how long it takes to make this mattress, basically they laughed and said, it takes way too long, we haven't got time for this. There's not enough money in that. All right, so I'll explain the different models of the mattresses. And doing so, I'll first explain some of the features, and then it becomes real easy to explain the mattresses. All right, so we have the unique Geovital foam, non-toxic, fits our anti-intolerance goals, and it's what we call biologically neutral, meaning it doesn't react with the body. And we would encourage anybody to seek out a practitioner who does muscle testing, electroacupuncture, Vega testing, and get tested with our foam, which is, of course, possible. Has high aeration, so there's plenty of oxygenation to the skin, and it makes for an inhospitable environment for bacteria and fungus. Especially with fungus, I've got to point out it might be an inhospitable environment for fungus, but that doesn't rule it out. If the humidity is 60–70%, fungus will grow on pretty much anything. You still got to have an environment which is relatively dry, so just be careful. Has a correct rigidity, so it supports the spine as needed, and then we can make compression zones in there, so your bottom and your shoulder blades are allowed to sink in a little deeper, and just makes for a very comfortable sleeping environment. More forgiving for the side sleepers, so when you roll on your side, that shoulder is allowed to enter that mattress a little bit, taking the pressure off the chest. Mattress is anti-static, and it's quite durable. Often the lifespan of a mattress is referred to as a 7-year period. We'd like to think you'd get a good 10 years out of ours. Okay, then we'll go into the Tensile cover. So Tensile is a renewable resource. Tensile grows trees especially for this purpose, and they chop those trees up in tiny little chips, and then those chips are dissolved using a solvent, and Tensile has won several awards for their process in the way they do that, because 99.9% or some ridiculously high percentage of the solvents are being reused. It's a very clean production process. And anyway, these Tensile makes out of these cellulose fibers strands or cables, if you will, and these have little strands within them, or fibrils. The result is that you get a very smooth fiber, which is why it's so good for people with respiratory issues and skin issues. It's a very smooth surface to be in, so less chance of irritation. But because this cable also has these fibrils within it, these little tiny cables, there is within that design, let's say, a natural occurring space. And so that helps with the removing of moisture, which is a great feature. And the fibers are also strong when wet and dry. There we go, just that there. University of Heidelberg did testing to show that people with skin issues and respiratory issues, that's really good for. And then there's the Ucutex standard, which is an industry self-imposed standard, basically in relation to the products being, let's say, healthy. And so, these materials exceed that Ucutex standard, so that's a great thing. And the covers are then made, and everything's put together. There's a zipper on the cover that goes all the way around. It used to be that you could just open it and take the whole thing off. Now we make them that they also separate. So if somebody's had an accident, you don't even have to lift the whole mattress. You can take the top half of the cover off and then wash that, and when it's dry, put it back on. Okay, and then it takes us to the stretch effect feature, which is unique to us. And so as you can see in the picture here, we've got these slanted panels, and there's this pivot point in not the middle of the mattress, a little bit more towards the head, so it roughly lines up with the curvature of your back. Of course, that varies a little bit on how long somebody is, but it doesn't need to be that accurate. It needs to be roughly in the curvature of your back for this to work. So when you lie down on this mattress, these panels collapse in opposite directions, and you get a gentle traction to that spine. That reduces the pressure, because even if you're lying down because of your musculoskeletal system, there's always pressure in the spine, and so this system helps take that off. Also, these slats, these openings between them, they go all the way across, so it adds to the aeration beautifully. Every time you breathe, twist and turn, the air gets refreshed underneath you. Okay, so that stretch effect was because of cooperation between our health practitioners and our orthopedic specialists. The aim was to reduce the pressure in the discs. Cover that, produces a gentle traction and great air flow and oxygenation due to those openings. Okay, that then takes us, or actually I might just zip back. I've got a little video about the stretch effect that I'll show you. Just need to get that ready.
So we figured out that these wood fiber,
cellulose fiber,
is the best with all the patients who have allergic problems. Because there we have no reactions. And it's totally biologic.
Yeah, it's a renewable resource as well. They grow these trees especially for this.
And it's the it's the highest quality of wie sagt man, also die höchste Qualität überhaupt bei Bezügen.
Yeah, it's out of all the bed coverings, this is the highest quality that you can get.
Yeah. Okay. So you have two sides of it. Yeah. The best side is die glatte Seite.
Yeah, the smooth side is the best side. It's for the stretch effect.
Because here the covering is also stretching. Yeah. If you have this side on it, so the other one, it's not possible that it moves. Yeah, it stretches. So you have to keep this simple. Yeah.
So this is
work.
This is the white side now on the top.
Yeah, this one here.
And this one, the greenish one.
Yeah.
So let's say you have a shop and you have the beds there. Then you can show the guys how it works. So if you open it, then you have here the insert. Now, tissue.
Oh yeah.
Okay, just jump in. Very good. So, jetzt kommt mal her. Come to me. Tissue, just make your arms like this. Yeah, very good. So and then you can see if you come here and you look for the lines. Yeah, you can see that some lines are go up and some goes down. Yeah, so we have the most stretch effect between the shoulder und dem Becken. Wie sagt man hier die Hüfte?
Hips.
The hips. You know, in the shop they like this. Yeah, because now you can explain it, but here you can see it.
Yeah.
You know? So in here it doesn't matter if you are lying on the back or on your belly button or on the side. Yeah, because yeah, you can, because with this system the weight is transforming in this stretching, and it doesn't matter how you are laying on this mattress.
Yeah.
Can you see?
Is the magic? I can't tell from this angle.
Yeah, the wider here.
So is there a...
Okay, welcome back. So now that we've looked at the different features, the key features in the mattresses, it now becomes easy to explain different models. And we'll have a look, of course, at the real thing a little later on. So the Kombi mattress. The Kombi mattress is customized to personal body measurements. You know, you have a custom-made suit. Well, this is a custom-made mattress. Okay, the Kombi was basically the only way how we could improve on the success of the Geovital mattress, which I'll explain afterwards. Has perfect body support because the mattress internal layering is fitted to your personal body measurements by indentations for the shoulder blades, the bottom, the feet, make it very comfortable and very supportive. Helps the neck, shoulder blades, bottoms and ankles. It has two sides, and you can use either side up, as you see in the little picture over here. Here the stretch effect side is at the moment facing up, and this we would call the non-stretch effect side. But the customization is actually aimed towards the non-stretch effect side, these indentations of a direction, let's say. And so if you put this side up, then you experience 100% benefit of the customization, but no benefit from the stretch effect because it's facing down onto your bed frame. If you turn it around like it is in this picture with the stretch effect up, you now have 100% benefit of the stretch effect, and you feel about 50% of the customization still coming through. So it's a personal preference what you end up liking the most. I always encourage people to try one side for 4 weeks, try the other side for 4 weeks, then make up your mind in terms of which side you like the most. It's really quite spread amongst people. I personally like the stretch effect facing up. And the standard thickness of the Kombi is 24 centimeters or 4.9 inches. Excuse me. Now we can make the mattress thicker, but the foam is the most expensive part of that whole mattress, so it adds significantly to the price. It really doesn't add anything to the comfort of it. So if it's just aesthetics, you got to weigh off if that's important to you. You know, if somebody needs a higher mattress because it helps them get out of bed easier, that might be a good reason. But other than that, the way it was designed is lovely, just the way it is. Okay, and then some in-house statistics. 90% of the patients with back issues were symptom-free. 70% of the patients with neurological deficits in the extremities found improvement, as in pins and needles in the hands and the feet. 30% of the heart patients are symptom-free as pressure is taken off the heart meridian. And 40% of the patients who snored no longer snored, which was interesting. And basically everybody agreed that their sleep had been improved. All right, that then takes us to the Geovital mattress. Geovital has been around for about 25 years. It is exactly the way as you see the design underneath there in the picture. Okay, so it adapts to the body shape, but it is not customized. So it has these areas. Let me get my pointer bitty working. So this area here, where you see those holes in the colored side, that allows those shoulders to penetrate a little deeper as well, besides the foam having the right rigidity. And then here, under the curvature of the back, it's a little bit firmer. And then here again, to accommodate for the hips and the bottom, to make it all nice and comfortable. So you have these pressure zones, if you will. It can be used with either side up. So again, you could try that, although I have to say that most people favor that stretch effect side. Normal thickness is 20 centimeters, 7.8 inch. And again, that can also be made thicker, but it's really more aesthetics. In contrast to the Kombi, we are a little bit limited in terms of what sizes we can make. For example, the size queen, as that exists in most countries, is a little bit too skinny to customize to two individuals. And so depending on what in your country your queen means, we may not be able to make that for a couple in a queen. So you'd have to go up to a king. The Geovital we can pretty much make in any size you like. I mean, your normal mattress sizes, of course, no problem. We also get people that have motorhomes or boats that normally have quite average mattresses in there, but they need to be trimmed a certain way. You know, in the nose of a boat, there might be a corner trimmed off where your feet are. That also is for us no problem. We make these mattresses here, and the people on the mattress floor, kind of like something out of the ordinary. So yeah, bring up what you would like. Can be made thicker, but as I mentioned, that's more aesthetics. Can be made firmer. We have different gradations of firmness when it comes to the foam. Now, we know out of experience which foam firmness works well for people. I would encourage anybody to take that advice. So we ask you for your body weight, also with a Therovital, and then the foam will be picked for your body weight. You could insist that you want a firmer mattress or a softer mattress, but yeah, I know we've got a lot of experience with this. So if you'd like, we can do that, but I would encourage you not to. Especially with the stretch effect, the firmness is important. That if you have somebody who is too heavy for the foam, let's say, then instead of the panels collapsing as they should towards one side, they'll simply compress or collapse. Also, if you have a mattress that's too soft, when you come, let's say if you come out of it or you adjust yourself, the foam will take more time to recover because it's softer. It doesn't push back as much. So, of course, up to you, but I would recommend to go with what our experience tells us is the correct rigidity for your body weight. Often a lot of people also, you've never really been on a mattress that supported you very, very well. And so, often that thing of, I like a hard mattress. Yeah, that's what you've grown to say because you've had the best success so far with that strategy. But this may be a very different experience on a mattress that's really so well designed. And the Therovital keeps going strong. It's probably, certainly in the areas I look after, the most popular mattress. And just clicking back, with those two mattresses, the Therovital and the Kombi, it's often been that when somebody buys a mattress, you don't have a frame of reference between the Therovital and the Kombi of what the other one would have been like if you bought that. So if you bought the Therovital, it's going to be better than anything you've ever had, most likely. And you don't know what the Kombi would be like, so you're going to be over the moon and happy. If you bought the Kombi, then you're also over the moon and happy, and you don't know what the Therovital would have been like. It's been the people that have had a Therovital for 10 years and then go, wow, this was great, now it's time for a replacement. This time we're going to try the Kombi. And those people then come back and say, yeah, you're right, this one is even better. All right, and then takes us to the Vitalind mattress. That's a mattress with the same foam, same cover material, but no stretch effect. It is designed for an adult in terms of the pressure zones that it has. And we end up selling it mostly to health resorts, hotels, but also children, because mum and dad have a Therovital or a Kombi, and they want something good for the children as well. That's where the Vitalind comes in. If you have a child that's like 5, 6 years old, then they don't weigh enough to engage that stretch effect anyway. So it's a bit of a waste of money. If kids are a little bit older, if you're looking at 10, maybe 12, 13, then it might be starting to get worthwhile because, of course, the mattress is going to last a little while. And by the time it might be ready to move on to something bigger, they might be already in the late teens, getting more to adulthood. So that Vitalind, we'd like to think that anybody could afford a Vitalind, just from the price perspective, or at least save up for it. It doesn't have the stretch effect feature. It adapts to the body, but it's not customized. It has a normal thickness of 16 centimeters, which is a very common thickness here in Europe, or 6.7 inch. There's 3 gradations of firmness depending on the body weight. It's aimed at children and health resorts mostly. All right, well, that sums up the little presentation about the mattresses. So what we're going to do next is we're going to move to the finishing room, or the mattress area. So what we'll do is we'll stop this meeting because we've got to just go and set up over there. So if you could bear with us and log back in about 5 minutes time, we're going to open the room again, then we'll pick it up from there. All right, look forward to seeing you soon. Here we are in the, let's call it the mattress room. Here we've got some of the stock of the shielding materials as well. Got some mattresses that are nearly finished that can go out soon. This is where the ladies work very hard. Now, what might be interesting to show you, I'll just park you over here. There we go. Is that the differences with the foams. So as I mentioned, instead of using chemical propellants, we use carbonated water to make all those little bubbles in the foam, and then a little dye is added that is not doesn't interfere with the people sleeping on it, and this dye is used just to show us what firmness the foam has, and we tell them apart. Now, because we don't use those typical chemical propellants that in other foams are made, what it means is that, of course, these chemicals that they put in, they have functions, right? They do things. And so we want to go without because we don't want to avoid those intolerance issues and make a healthier mattress for people. But it does mean that certain things that these chemicals were why they were in the mattress in the first place, they don't happen. And so one thing that, for example, our foam does do is discolor. So, yeah, just for aesthetics, it would be nice if a white foam continued to look like a nice bright white foam. But of course, how many times do you open your mattress, look inside to enjoy the nice white look of your foam? It's all not that important, really, is it? So with our foam, it does over time discolor. So it goes this little beigey color, especially if a mattress might get a lot of sunlight on it for a long period of time, that it might excel that. Now, this is actually a good thing because it shows to you that this is what we said it was. So it doesn't detract from any other quality of the mattress. So yeah, that's fine. All right, so because of that discoloring as well, that's why some of our mattress stock is also covered. We keep it nice and dark so it looks as nice and crisp as possible before it goes out. So anyway, I'll take you for a little bit further. Now over here behind me is where the Kombi mattresses are made. Now, of course, we can keep that a little bit secret on how we do that exactly. We've got enough people interested in how that works. And I'll just make my way over here where we've got a little bit of a display area for the two mattresses, so I can kind of explain those to you a little bit better, I hope. Yeah, that should work. All right, so this is a Geovital mattress. The Kombi is next to it, so you can just see by the, you can't see probably from here, but the other one's a little bit thicker. That's how you can only tell the difference. The cover material kind of gives away to you what side you're looking at. This is a smooth side, and if you pick it up and you pull on it, this also has some stretchability. It's a little bit loose at the moment because I think this is not zipped up from yesterday. There's the zipper. That's how you would open or close it if you want to remove that mattress. So there's a bit of stretchability to this. If you compare that with the other side, avalanche. On this side, we've got that padding. It's a little bit thicker and there's less stretchability. So most people, of course, favor the smooth side where the stretch effect is on. Now, as you can tell, the mattress isn't actually that heavy. If you compare other mattresses that you've owned, they've got a little bit of weight to them. And if we imagine, an elderly person where body strength is a bit of an issue, this is an easier mattress to move. So that's a great thing. Here we've got that stretch effect kind of demonstrated as well. That's that pivot point over here. That's roughly in the curvature of your back. And then as your body weight presses on these collapse up. Sorry, these collapse down, these collapse up. And that creates that traction on the spine to reduce that pressure. And those air chambers go all the way across. So air is always refreshing with every movement that you do. Now, I mentioned that because of the open cell structure, these mattresses breathe very well. And so what you can do with one of our mattresses is that you can put your mouth on it and basically exhale into the mattress and inhale. So, give a demonstration. Now, this is not something that you want to, of course, do on a daily basis. Serves no purpose. But it does demonstrate how open that structure is and how good that is for that breathability. So if you have a mattress at home, which I'm sure you do, have a go at that. There's a little test you can do for the breathability of your own mattress. So just take the sheets off and see how much air you can get. Whilst you're at it, if you've got a metal-filled mattress, spring-filled mattress, grab yourself a compass and run that compass over the mattress, kind of along the middle, not right on the edge, that's a bit unfair, where you would be lying. So let's say here, in the middle, and there, and that needle shouldn't really deviate. If it deviates more than 5 degrees, that should be replaced. All right, so that's the Theravital mattress. Got the tags to help you pick it up on. The cover can be removed, can also be separated, so you can take the top half off. And, just wash that. Okay, and that then takes us to the Kombi mattress. Let's turn you guys around. All right, so with the Kombi mattress, I don't know if you can make that out in that picture, but there's an indentation for the bottom, the shoulder blades, the ankles. And so with this mattress, at the moment, we see the padding up. So that means that the stretch effect is facing up. If I run my hand over this mattress, you can feel those indentations. Down for a shoulder blade, up for the spine, and again, down for the other shoulder blade. And here we've got an indentation for the bottom. It's a little bit less distinct for this example mattress. There we go. And then down here, my favorite part is the indentation for the ankles. You know, when you're lying on a mattress and you got the doona or the covers on top, and you get that pressure on your toes, and you end up twisting your leg out. A lot of people go, yeah. Well, here it's like you're hanging off the edge of a lilo. It takes the pressure off the ankles, off your toes with the doona. It's gorgeous, absolutely lovely. Yeah. And of course, we need to know where to put this, so that's why those body measurements are important. Body length, and where that curvature of your back sits. Now with these indentations, and it's raised for the spine, how that works is that when you lie on it and during the night you're rolling around, as all of us do, you roll into that cavity of the into the cavity of the shoulder blade, and that gives your shoulder a place to go, and again takes that pressure off the chest and respiratory circulation. So yeah, it works an absolute treat. Now if we turn the mattress over, again it's not that dramatic. Now we've got the smooth side up. So now we are looking at the stretch effect side. Here, panels have the tendency to collapse towards the feet end, and here towards the head end, so that surface area is increased and the tension is created. So very nice mattress. Now if you get a mattress of ours, especially like with a king size, with a Kombi, they're always separated. Yeah, you need one half for her and one half for him. With the Theravital, depending on the size, they may be split in half in the middle. Now, a lot of people think, well, hang on, if I've got, and it depends on your country, by the way. People in Europe basically always get 2 single mattresses for a couple to sleep on. Where in North America, Australia, New Zealand, we would like to see 1 expanse of mattress for the 2 people. And so in case of a king or a ground king, for example, the mattress inside is actually 2 halves, which is a bit of an advantage actually, because the partner can choose to have the stretch effect up and the other partner may choose to want the other side up. And so you can individually turn them. Also, you're not limited, especially like with a Kombi, which is customized, to who sleeps on what side. You can vary them from left to right as well. Now, some people think, well, hang on, if I've got 2 of these parts inside the mattress, don't I feel that indentation? And well, basically everybody wonders that, and it's a non-issue. Nobody experiences that way. The reason for that is that that internal mattress does not have a hard edge like you might be used to other single mattresses. And so even though they're butted together, the cover will keep them together as well, but that's not experienced as something you notice or feel. So don't worry about that. All right, so that's mattress wise, and then I can show you the pillows as well. So while we're at it, we've got two models. We've got this one, which is displayed on a lot of those pictures of advertisements of ours. This one has a bulge that runs all the way across. This is meant to be placed under the neck, and there's slots cut into it which create a gentle back rolling of that material. Sorry, my computer deciding to go for a little sleep, so let me just make sure that you're all still there. So this goes under the neck. The cover is removable, and what's extra cute about this model is that this is an oldie. Sascha, can you grab me a new one? So I'm missing something in here that I'm wanting to show you. This is the demonstrator for a while. All right, so we've got that bulge going all the way across. And then in here, we call this a sock. It sits over the material, just protects it so it behaves a little better and lasts longer. Now in here, you see these slots, perhaps. I can roll this sock back. Yeah. All right, so it's probably a little bit easy to see. There's those slots cut into it. But as you may notice, it also has an extra layer of foam underneath. Now this is a 2.5 centimeters layer of foam, about 1 inch thick. That's removable. So this pillow, you can kind of tailor it to what you like. Now our pillows, you might say, well, they're a bit thinner to start with, thinner than what I'm used to. That's correct, and it's done on purpose. Because our mattresses have a little bit more give in it. And so when you lie on it, you don't really need a really thick pillow to push your head back up. But with this particular one, you have that ability to make it a bit thinner still if you wanted to. Just remember when you put it back that, of course, the bulge needs to go on the side where the bulge has to be. In it goes. This is the standard cover that comes with it. Gorgeous. Feels lovely. We do also have an additional cover, which is called Cool-Made. That can be added over the top, for example, and it adds more aeration and has a cooling effect, which is great for the warmer months of the year. All right, so that's the therapy pillow, or neck support pillow, if you will. And then this one, this is the massage pillow. Massage pillow has an indentation along the middle and an indentation along the sides. So, or you could say it has 4 raised corners. And when we open this, it's quite special. It has kind of an eggshell foam on the top. Now what that's for, all these little bubbles, all these little mountains, is that this pillow is designed for the side sleeper. Or people who predominantly sleep on their side. When you sleep on your side, you've got your face planted into your pillow, you've got the even pressure all over your face with the normal pillows. By having these little mounds, little eggshells there, you've got different pressures on your face. So it adds in the circulation. So it's lovely. Between the two, I would say that our therapy pillow is the most popular. It's a little bit cheaper as well, but I don't think that's not what makes the big difference. This is kind of your general all-rounder. It's also my personal favorite. And yeah, the massage pillow is kind of tailored for those people that know that they're predominantly sleeping on their side. All right, Sascha, do you have anything to add whilst you're here?
No, he's doing it very good and very well. Just having a look. So for Geovital, it's very important to have a good quality. So quality is everything. The customers and the patients, the customers want to spend their money and want to get the best value.
Yeah.
And for the patients, for us, it's very important to work with their problems. And here with Geovital, we have 5% customers and 95% patients. Yeah. So it's even more and more difficult for us to work with sick sick people, because there we have to deliver results. And even in a list of 60, 70 different issues or diseases, beginning from headache down to cancer, we have an success rate. Yeah, of nearly 80%, which is enormous, because we are not doing anything with the patients. We're just correcting things around the person.
We can't make any promises either. Let's.
Yeah.
For sure. You're going to be a little careful, We're all individuals.
Yeah, but I always say I'm not Jesus. I cannot walk over water, So we can do the best. First of all, we have to find out where the problem is. So for that, we have the home assessments. Then we have a look what kind of things makes life harder for the patients, which makes the stress factors, and also cell changes, for example. So things goes kaput. Damage, even up to cancer. So we have to find these factors, and hopefully we can correct them. Not all of them. Sometimes we have houses or apartments where we say it makes no sense to do there anything, to spend money, because it would be so complicated that it would be a better idea to think about to move the house. But the nice thing is, in the most, let's say 99% of the apartments, we can deal with the problems. Sometimes very easy, sometimes a little bit more complicated. But in the end, when the patients also see there is something happening, and 80% success means people are coming with 5 problems, and we can deal with 4 of them, and 1 maybe not. So that is the 80%. So I cannot fix, or we cannot fix everything. Might be that 1 or 2 things stay like it is before. So if something is kaput, damaged, we cannot repair everything. So the body by itself has to repair.
The body has to do the healing.
So, but anyway, the patients are very happy with the results, and we see it also with the Weiterempfehlungen.
The recommendations that people make to their friends and
so this is enormous high. So then we
sign.
do a good job, and with everything, all the materials, all the things we do, shielding paint, mattress, shielding mats, or whatever it is always a little Lego brick in the system.
So
So
part of the wall, part of the approach.
Yeah, and so all of these little tiny bricks have to be good and clever and as cheap as possible. Yeah? So to do these materials very complicated and very aufwendig. Aufwendig.
I don't know the German word.
It is not the cheapest stuff. Yeah, I always tell my patients, get the good things with a good quality, yeah, and invest just once. Otherwise, you buy the cheap stuff.
Yeah.
For example, in the internet, some online shops, they sell also shielding materials, but cheap one, low quality. And if you invest in cheap things, that's our Erfahrung, experience, yeah. You invest twice or even 3 times. Yeah. So and yeah, that is
all the work for no good reason.
Yeah. So in the end, the people come back to us and say, now we had 2 tries with the cheap stuff. It didn't work. Now we start with you.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, okay. So
anyway, we'll keep doing the right thing and you know, do the best by the patients and the health clients.
Yeah,
that's what I guess the reputation over all that time built on in the first place. So it suits us well.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us. I hope the mattress story is a little bit more elaborated on, and you know a little bit more. You know, ask your local consultant or office for more information about these mattresses and how to acquire them. And yeah, they're great for what they are. They're likely the healthiest mattress in the world, but they are part of an approach to create a healthy bedroom. And so if you haven't had a home assessment done yet, we'd strongly recommend you to get that organized so we can get somebody into your house to investigate what's wrong. The electric fields from the wiring in the wall is always the biggest problem. You find that in most homes. Radio frequency from transmitters, mobile phone towers, that's of course a thing that only ever gets bigger and worse. And then there's geopathic stress, and the mattresses come into that approach as well. So it's good to find out what's going on and then devise a strategy to go forward. And it'd be lovely for this mattress to be part of that. But then you also know what else may need to be addressed to really create that healthy bedroom to optimize your chances for good rest and regeneration. So thanks for joining us. We're going to turn the cameras off and have a sleep, because that's the problem with having these mattresses here, that we don't get much work done.
Yeah, no.
All right. Thanks a lot. See you next time.